I did put a rank
All
in
right.
law when we leveled up, though.
And we're back.
Okay, so how long has it been since we entered this cave?
Because roughly 6 hours. It is 6 hours into the tunnel.
Trip was supposed to be 6 hours-ish.
No, so you've got to go over and across the mountains. Getting to where the mountains was about 6 hours, and then getting over, like, you can get there in roughly a day if you could go straight as the crow flies.
I thought the entirety of this trip was shorter than
No,
that.
the mountain travel slows you down a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so
actually, I think it was 4 hours on the road, and then if you could go straight through the mountains, it'd be 2 hours. But going over the mountains adds to the time. I think that was actually it.
So the amount of time in the cave, though, then has been like 2 hours since we.
The amount of time in the cave has been 6 hours, but you have to move slower in the cave because it's dark and because there are things that have been like causing there's like openings in the cave walls. It's not a fully refinished cave, so if this was finished, you could move at full speed and not have to worry about hitting like a stone that's fallen out of place or like a giant boulder that's in the way of the road that hasn't fully been cleared out. Like, there's a number of things that have been slowing you down and that you've had to move around, which has slowed you down. But if the tunnel was finished, it's a 6-hour run.
That combat also took, like, at least 3 minutes in real time to actually go through. That was obnoxiously long.
But, so we've been in the... So, how many hours have we been traveling? So you said 4 and 6 now?
Yeah, you're 10 hours of travel.
10 hours?
Yep.
Okay. And what do I know about, like how long you could travel, like, before, like, some sort of exhaustion or penalties or issues arise?
It's quite a while. I mean, you could go through the night and not really deal with it. It's pretty minor to just be tired, the next day.
Yeah. I sort of feel like our best case scenario right now, and what I personally feel like we should do, is try to turn around right now and get out of this cave, because my hope is that some of the interactions we've had, the things we've dealt with so close in time, that maybe there hasn't been, hopefully, like, a super amount of time for, like, say, more creatures to basically come to kind of the tunnel pathway. Whereas, like, yes, we could rest, but we might encounter creatures resting right here, and that's gonna mess up our rest anyways, and we may not get, like, the full effects and everything back depending on what we encounter right here. Or we can, push through. I don't know, is anyone capable of resting in the cart while we travel, or is it like no one would be able to?
Yeah, people could potentially rest in the cart.
So we could maybe have like 2 people resting who, like, obviously, like Gulran, who is injured and would be really beneficial for him to get his healing abilities back. Maybe as well Brianna.
It should take me about 2 hours to rest.
Okay, so I mean, you could rest for 2 hours, and then get up and then let Brianna go to sleep. And I mean, at this point, like, me having spells is beneficial to myself and my combat prowess, but my spells aren't necessarily something that's going to, like, save the party. So I'm fine with staying awake and piloting the cart, but, I think we should try to turn around right now and push through and get out of these caves. And then once we're out, we can decide whether, like, we want to do a shift change. But I think we need to keep pushing through and not, like, all stop and rest. I think we need to try to push through.
I'm okay with that.
Seems reasonable.
All right, so Gulran just goes.
The longer we're in here.
Yeah, Gulran just
the
goes
longer we're in here,
get your rest.
Gulran grumpily speaks up. Now that we're here, you've brought to my attention that my dwarven brethren may be facing an attack. And you were so worried to warn them, and now we're ready to just leave them unprepared. I think I owe it to Shashat to spread this knowledge, to perhaps save this dwarven people.
I understand.
And perhaps this causes us a few hours delay. I will take responsibility for it, but this gesture of helping the dwarves may prove a long run beneficial to everyone, and they may be more.
How do you
helpful.
Propose you do this? Give me your proposition of how you would warn them.
I said before, I will speak dwarven to the cavern and hopefully they will respond and come meet us.
Okay.
They're not going to come up here. They don't need to come up. I misspoke earlier when I said that. I realized it afterwards, and I don't know if I corrected myself, so my apologies for that. But if they are like Durgar or Drow, they wouldn't need to come up to get any
Why do you keep saying... Okay, sorry, out of character. Are we all aware of the information you relayed to us that we're pretty sure this is the Dwarven settlement that...
Yes, I do believe that this is the Dwarven settlement, but I don't.
Why do you keep talking about Drow?
Well, he said Durgar, which are a type of dwarf.
Oh, sorry. Yes. I thought you were saying
they're another dark dwarf. Because it also could potentially be Drow. I believe it to be, given the information we have, I believe it to be one of the Dwarven cities, but I am not sure what kind of architecture that is, and I don't know definitively that it is.
I understand what you want to do, Goron. Do you think waiting a couple days to deliver this message is going to be the difference between their survival or not? Because the difference between a couple hours could mean the difference between our survival. I understand you wanting to do this, and I think that is a completely valid thing that we put on our agenda to come back as soon as we are healthy and safe, and maybe find out if there's a way from the other side that might be shorter. But I don't know if this exact moment is ideal.
The information that I was able to glean, I was not able to tell a timetable of when it was whatsoever, like day, hour, or anything like that. So I don't know if it could be hours, it could be weeks, it could be months, but given the circumstances, I'm willing to bet it's probably sooner rather than later.
I bet once we got to town, there might be a way we could get a message here pretty quickly, maybe come back after we've recovered. But first and foremost, we were sent to do a job and a mission, and if we can't keep ourselves alive, then what's the, like, maybe you relay this message, maybe they believe you, maybe they don't, maybe they already know some of this, but I think we should put our survival at the top of the list of things right now. And I'm completely okay with, like, as soon as we get to town, are safe, have checked in with the person we're supposed to check in with, of figuring out how we can get a message to these dwarves so that you can fulfill this. But I'm just not sure doing it this second is the best idea.
And if the attack were to happen tomorrow and the civilization wiped out,
I agree. I think that personally, and this might be short-sighted, I understand that, but I do believe that if we did have this information and we were able to give it to them, they would be more likely to work with us, and it might be possible that they would be willing to potentially ease up on some of their demands and make it easier for everybody involved in the system, the railway system, making it an easier way for people to get through the mountains, because the hill giants seem very dangerous. That's my thinking.
I also don't want to endanger anyone for this goal, so if Brianna can feather fall me down, I will do my best to relay this message. Give me a few hours. If I'm not back, you can leave without me.
I literally suggested this moments ago, and
if
you
we
said
no. Call you down,
you're not a dwarf,
and you were
getting back paranoid that they were Drow earlier. So
it's possible they could be. And I also do speak Dwarven, so
if we decided to do this plan and feather falls you down,
yes, I do.
How do you propose that you're going to get back up here?
The dwarves have ways of getting wherever they want in the mountains. If they have a way for me to get back, I will take it. If not, I said you can leave without me.
How do we know the attack hasn't already happened and the city's now occupied by the others?
And I will die with a clean conscience.
Steve, did I happen to see any lights whatsoever from inside any of the buildings that I was able to see?
No.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try to make a perception check to see if I.
No, you're not.
To see if
there's no lights.
No, I mean for like hearing for noises or anything.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to see if I could hear anything in the cavern.
Sure.
Either be it down there, anything.
No.
Terrible.
To where you're at, it's quiet.
It does seem quiet. Yes, I would be more than willing to go down there with you. If you did want to call out to whatever was here,
Do you guys think it's weird at all, though, that, like, it's what? So, like, maybe, like, I would guess it's, like, evening right now, Steve?
It's actually late afternoon, most likely.
So it's late afternoon, and we see 0 lights and hear 0 noise coming from the civilization. Does that not seem strange to any of you?
Elizabeth, do you see the sun in here?
No. But
So perhaps they don't operate on our schedule.
Okay.
As much as I hate to agree with Golron.
But
you're also 80 feet up, and God knows how far from where people are.
Yeah, but we'd probably still.
If they live in here, they probably have some sort of like low light vision or dark vision to some degree. I'm assuming.
This may not resonate with you, but I was I was raised an orphan. I have not met my kin. This is the first time I've encountered them, and we're aware that their lives may be at risk.
Are there no dwarves in the city?
Yeah, and literally all of our lives are at risk right now, and I'm trying to keep our party safe. But apparently,
I literally
you are
just
not going
told
to
you how there's no.
I'm trying to keep your lives straight too. I'm trying to keep your life safe too, and you are telling me worst case scenario, leave without you. That is not keeping your life safe as well.
Do you serve a god, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know Shashat? The god of knowledge?
The wife of your god?
Hey, Steve, have I never seen a city in the city? A dwarf in the city?
No, you haven't seen a dwarf in the city. You can only see like a small corner of the city.
No, I mean in the city that we came from.
Yeah, there are other dwarves in the city. In fact, one of them was a jailer that Brianna had a fun interaction with.
Okay.
I believe this to be a divinely inspired task. I must.
This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. I am taking our 2 batches of rope, tying together as best as I can, using the stupid pythons and like shoving it into the ground.
We have 2 ropes?
I have rope, and Golron has rope.
That was literally said.
I remember her saying she had rope. I don't remember that the other part, though.
Rope. So that is
I do not remember that whatsoever.
The ground, Brianna, featherfall them both down, flip and get this over with, because apparently we're not moving out of here until I let Golron complete his God-sent task.
Do you even serve a god? You're being very aggressive with a task I believe my god has given me. So
I don't, but I'm willing to go with you.
I
that
do
might be beneficial.
God, but my biggest.
I don't know how your god would look on if they gave you a task. If your god
were
to give you a task,
your god gave you this task. Did you?
It's in line with my god's beliefs. It's
okay.
It's above whatever the ministry would tell me to do.
That's probably accurate, but I don't believe that either of your gods are actually speaking to either of you. I don't think that you would be powerful enough to reach them per se. Sorry, I didn't. Anyways, yes, like if you do want to go down there, I would be willing to go down there with you, and then we could do. I don't know. We could come back to the ropes. It would be about 100 feet, I'm assuming, unless they're cut in some sort of way or they're not 50 feet of rope. That should give us enough that we could pull them or something, make some sort of signal to let the people up here know that we have made contact. Yes.
If I put light on a pebble and I just let it drop straight down, can I see the light on the ground?
Yeah.
All right.
You're doing that right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait.
If you guys want to go down, like, you are just going to go down blind?
I have low light vision. You do have dark vision, correct, Golron?
Yep.
Okay, but low light vision, you still need.
Can I get a perception check from the party?
We could bring it with us as opposed to throwing it down there.
Oh no, it's been done. The die has been cast.
Because
she's right at the edge, she casts the spell and drops it.
Yeah. If I would have seen her casting that, I would have tried to stop her from dropping it, but...
I mean, if you guys are going to go down there anyways.
Something walks over, picks up the pebble, squeezes in its hand. The light goes out. Brianna, you will notice that it is some sort of like dark covered figure, like it's wearing dark clothing. It has like no directly discernible features. And it picks up the pebble, squeezes in its hand, and then Golron, you
die.
You also can't see it after the pebble disappears.
Out of character, I know this is probably a darkness spell. Do I know this in character? Or can I make a Arcana check? Or...
No, because the creature walks over, picks up the pebble, and when it puts the pebble in its hand, enclosing the light that is coming off of the pebble, all the darkness has gone away, but you can't see this thing in the dark. You can see the ground still, or you can still see the sides of the building, so it's not like there's some aura of darkness around this thing. It's just squeezing out the light by keeping the rock held in its hands.
So did I see the figure, like, was it dwarvish height, or was it humanoid
It is shorter than a dwarf.
Shorter than a dwarf.
Yes.
Is there any knowledge? I don't really have any knowledges, I guess.
Well, if you explain to me exactly what you see, I can try to give you a list of things that it could be.
Yeah, I would describe in a whisper to the party what I saw.
So but the only
as you're describing it, you hear something say, "You're not quite right on what I look like. I'm a little different than that."
Do we all hear this? Is it in my head, or?
And a little pebble of light, like, rolls onto the edge, and there is a short, darkly cloaked figure that almost looks like a shadow, standing there, and it pulls back. It pulls back a hood, and beneath it you can see this, like, deep pinkish purple hair, and a very small face. Somewhat roundish, as a gnome looks up at the four of you. What are you all doing?
Where are the dwarves?
They're there. What are you doing?
I must speak with them. Who are you?
I live around these parts. I tend to stay towards the outskirts. Much more interesting things towards the outskirts than there are in the inners.
This is probably one of those things that you didn't want to hear us.
Can you help us get down there? The dwarves may be in danger. I need to speak with them.
I could help you get down there. Yes.
How did you were just down there? Did you know a way?
I could feather fall you all down.
No offense, but that's a little... We can do that ourselves. I'm just wondering if there was a way to walk down.
Not unless you happen to have the right kind of feet, and he taps his feet together.
Does anything happen when he does that?
No.
Or
his boots do look kind of like weird in texture. They're very black, but they also don't look like they're made out of any material that you see regularly.
Well, I didn't know if that would be possible for me to make like a spellcraft, if it's or like a knowledge or arcana check if it's not actually doing anything, or if it's like a continual effect. I didn't know if I wasn't 100% sure out of character if that would be something I could do.
Are you on speaking terms with the dwarves? Do they trust you?
I am on speaking terms with some dwarves, yes.
These dwarves, I'm wondering, can you bring one up here
now?
Yes,
these dwarves, yes. I could, but I don't think he'd quite like you.
Why not?
Well...
Did you tell him his life would depend on it? What moves your soul? Do you need coin? Or what? This is an emergency.
Did they not appreciate us?
What moves my soul? That is a very deep and intimate question. What moves my soul? I have to say, what moves my soul is the joy of finding something new and interesting to interact with and learn about. My friend, on the other hand, the dwarf that you speak of, his joy is getting into fights and drinking. And it doesn't look like you have much to drink, so I assume he'd probably... What?
I don't know if this is... I don't know if my appraise check would tell me.
Is that the wine, or is that the...
Yeah, the good wine.
That's not really his style.
His entire peoples are at risk.
From what? I see you brought a ballista. Are you planning to kill us all?
No, but there are creatures in these tunnels that may be planning something.
Curiosity, have you seen any drow around? And are you on good terms with said drow?
I'm I make the occasional exchange with a drow here or there if the time needs it, or if they perhaps can be coerced into doing so.
Now, if, let's say, this dwarf, I don't know if there are multiple dwarves down there or not, but if
there are many, yes.
If they were in danger, and let's say the drow were possibly involved with attacking them,
that would be like a declaration of war.
It does sound like that, wouldn't it?
Yes. And any parties involved in the action would be engaged in it. It could be all-out chaos. Yes. It would really dramatically ruin the state of my life.
Ah, so it sounds like that would be a problem then.
Yes. Do you have proof of such an accusation? Or do you just have the machinery of war that you're willing to the entrance to our cave to rain death upon us?
Oh,
listen,
I just haven't figured out how to use this.
We're on a tight schedule. I am an orphan. I've never met my fellow kin. This is my first opportunity. Their lives may be in danger. To have a clear conscience, if you can just bring this dwarf here. If he wants to punch me in the face afterwards, that's fine. Well, but I must tell him this before I leave here.
I don't think that information would do him a lot of good. The local town drunk going and running around saying that the drow are coming. I don't think that's really going to do a lot of good.
Drunk. Just out of curiosity, do you know much about
the only one that would come?
Psychometry?
About what?
Like psychometry?
What?
Ah, yes. Okay. I didn't. You just misheard.
Is that some form of brain math?
If I go down there, would these dwarves kill me on sight?
Divining the past of things.
They might jail you. You see, you'd be a denizen from another town entering into our town, and if you don't go through the proper channels, that could be a problem. Yes.
You live here?
Yes, I live here. I thought I made that clear.
Can you please just bring someone more reputable than the town drunk? Please, anyone that will be
People don't like to follow me places.
You know some of the dwarves down there, right?
I know several. Many of them don't like me.
That's understandable. I get that too from time to time. Not with dwarves, just where I'm from.
Elizabeth, you get the impression he's a bit of a liberator.
I turn to Brianna. Brianna, can you feather fall me down? This is wasting too much time. We need to get this message to them now.
You're gonna end up in jail. They just said they probably put you in jail. How?
Elizabeth, if your family was to be killed and the result is you're to be put in jail, would you do it or no?
He looks you over. Your family. These are your kin. These are your family. Who do you know down there?
Once upon a time.
Sir?
Then you wouldn't get arrested, right? What?
Sir? Is this? What? I didn't know if you were sir. It's hard to tell.
What?
What happened was we came in here. We fought. Oh god damn it!
You probably fought a lot of things. There's lots of things in there.
We fought the Drider, and then
There's no Drider up here.
Oh, there were about a few hours into. We found one, and it had stored away a couple of catapults and the ballista. We brought the ballista because it might prove as evidence, or maybe I could figure out how it worked. I know relative idea how it works, but we came this way.
Take me there.
It's hours back.
Take me there.
That would be.
If you take me there, I will introduce you to the dwarves on my behalf, and you can say to them whatever you wish to. Take me there. You can trust me, right?
I'm sure that we can.
You just said that a lot of the dwarves don't like you.
Oh, right. Well, I'm sure if I have this information, they'll listen to me. And if we bring back the Drider, of course. You did leave the body there, and you can't bring it back, right?
We left the body there. I don't know if it's still there. It's been a couple hours.
So the evidence you wanted to bring to us was a ballista, but not the evidence of the creature that brought the ballista into place?
I'm
it's
assuming
easier to bring the ballista with the wheels than it would be to bring.
There's a simple spell of sharing memories. I'm sure a dwarf has it. They can search our thoughts.
It is easy to lie to those, though.
I'm hoping my dwarven charm may come in handy.
So far, I haven't noticed it. You seem to have the dwarven charm of most of the rest of them.
Yeah, I can tell why my people are not a huge fan of you.
I agree. I am far too charismatic for the likes of most of them.
I guess this might be a little blunt, but
seems like all of you are very blunt.
How much would it cost for us to go down there without any trouble?
Ooh,
well, as much
that I could arrange. I could get you a place to stay down there if you'd like, for a little while.
Temporarily?
Yes. How long would you like to stay?
We just need a conversation. We don't need to stay.
How? Maybe like let's say we were to stay a day. Would that be?
Antaeus, why are you even asking? I'm so confused. First, you wanted to get.
I could arrange that. I could arrange a day in town for you, and I could probably assemble some disguises for you, so that some of you could move about town. I don't know about you two, and he points to you, Antaeus, and to you, Elizabeth. You're both a little tall. Might be a little hard. I don't think I need much of a disguise for this one here. And this one over here, I could pass you off as a gnome.
Brianna will kind of grin, and she'll be like, I can always perform if, they like music.
Well,
they hate music.
Fastened to the wall with the pins. I think this was established.
Some people are motivated by money, and sometimes you have to grease those wheels to get things done.
For about,
and I figured shortcutting this would be a lot easier than trying to dance around it.
I would be happy to do all this for you for around 100 gold.
And we would have a way to get down there, correct? Safely?
I will featherfall you all.
And you can guarantee our safety then?
Certainly. Well, I can largely guarantee your safety. If I happen to get arrested because I'm harboring 4 outsiders, that could end up turning very bad for me.
Gloron starts climbing this rope.
Would there be any way for you to let somebody know that...
I really hope you make those climb checks.
Give me an athletics check.
Let's hope you don't fall and die.
I've asked Brianna twice for Featherfell, so hopefully she's looking at me when I'm doing this, but yeah. Acrobatics, you mean?
It is athletics to climb down something.
Is that
would be either climb or swim if you put ranks into it.
I do have a custom athletic skill.
If you put any ranks in climb or swim, they are effectively the same. All right. Give me, Brianna, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh wow. So you're looking over and you notice Gul'ran start to slip, and as you're doing so, you notice the gnome almost without looking waves his fingers over the edge, and Gul'ran, you are slowly falling down.
And you said it was 100 gold for us to all get down there, right?
Yes.
And for the day?
Yes. I'll need 15 of that now, by the way, for saving your friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull 15 gold out. Yeah.
You'll find that's quite a deal.
And is there anybody that we could speak to that would be willing to listen to what we have to say about this?
I couldn't tell you that. I can disguise your friend, and maybe he can find someone that he can talk to about this issue.
Well, he has difficulty speaking with anyone that's not dwarven. Presumably, he hasn't met any dwarves.
Then perhaps his gnomish emissary, and he gestures to Brianna, would be able to have the conversation.
Brianna says certainly in Dwarven, because she speaks Dwarven.
Good.
And the two of you should probably stay hidden.
And you have a place we could do that, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. Let's do that then.
Okay.
I will lock up our cart.
Well, right. He said he can bring the... Did he say anything about the cart? I didn't ask.
He can featherfall the cart down if you'd like as well.
Before he does that, I will ask him if there's any way to get it back up if we need to leave.
You don't have a way?
Good point.
I don't think I have either. I'm pretty sure the spells back home I have do not include anything to lift something that heavy.
Back home?
Yes, back home. I have a home. I said that.
Yes, I'm just curious out of personal interest.
You're not entirely the most perceptive crew.
Is there any way on the other side of this town you have down here to get a cart up and potentially move through? Does this go anywhere, or is this just a dead
There are
end?
other tunnels that lead to various places. You could probably find a few of those. I don't navigate the deep tunnels very often. I navigate the local tunnels. You see, there are much more interesting things in the local tunnels and a lot less danger. The further out you get, the worse it gets. I'm surprised you made it that way. It's very dangerous sometimes coming through there. Things wander in and out of there because they never quite finished it. They never quite sealed off certain parts of it.
Is it more dangerous than going above ground?
Oh, I don't know. I would never go up there. Very bright.
So
Very,
you have no
very bad on my
idea
eyes.
if any of these other tunnels lead to the capital.
What capital? The Dwarven capital? Yes, one of them does lead to the Dwarven capital.
not the Dwarven capital, the Outsiders capital.
I could not tell you. I've never ventured.
Okay.
Well, hopefully somebody down there would know. I don't know if you want to bring the car with us, but well, the ballista is not loaded. I don't know if you want to bring it. I don't know.
Let's just leave the heavy stuff up here, and let's do what we need to do so that we can be on our way.
Fair enough.
All right, well, down we go.
Again, I say I lock the cart.
Are we all jumping together? On the count of
Whatever's
5?
the safest. Whatever's the safest way.
1, 2, 3, and he jumps. 4, 5.
I'm jumping. I'm jumping.
1, 2, 3.
Anybody else jumping?
4,
We're all jumping.
5.
I jumped.
He gives Brianna and Teus Featherfall.
Oh, this was seriously a freaking thing. Okay.
You didn't jump.
I didn't know. I was waiting for Brianna, and she said it at the last second. If Brianna jumped off, I would have jumped off next to her. But if Brianna had spells, I would have just had her Featherfall me.
I have Featherfall jump. I'll get you.
Well, as soon as I would have seen Brianna jump, I would have jumped and hoped that she manages at least.
Okay. All of you will land safely. Gulran, you've landed a little before them.
I would just immediately start looking for the nearest door if I can find.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy as you go looking for the nearest dwarf, because you will definitely find one.
Diplomacy.
At least we'll know where to find him. That's
all right. You find a dwarf roaming around outside, and you make your way up to them. Who are you?
So this is in Dwarvish, I assume?
Uh-huh.
So in Dwarvish, I say, is it a male? I don't know if I can tell.
Hard to tell. They all have beards.
Friend, I come from far. I come bearing a message of there's things that I must speak with your people.
A message from afar. What city?
Yes. Knightsbridge.
Who the hell's that? Never heard of it.
Anyway, it's not important. There's things in the tunnel.
It's pretty important.
It's a town that we were seeking passage through the tunnels.
What is that on your neck?
It's a symbol of Shashat.
Who?
You've not heard of Shashat?
Who's Shashat?
It's a goddess of knowledge.
No. There's... What dwarven city worships some other god?
Alas, I was born... I keep saying born. I was raised an orphan. You were the first natural living dwarf I've actually seen.
So you're not born in a dwarven city?
No.
Born under the drow, were you?
No. Born under the humans.
Invaders! Invaders!
No, sir. I bring a message of war upon your people if...
Invaders! That is the perfect 7 diplomacy check, by the way.
Oh, I was about to say.
Gulran immediately disarms his warhammer and shield.
Okay. Well, you will be arrested.
Okay.
The whole party will hear the shout of invaders as they reach the ground. I do believe your friend is being arrested now.
What do we do?
You know where the jail's at, correct?
I will get him out. I've gotten many out before. Although if he's stubborn enough to go off on his own, then perhaps he's stubborn enough to not want to leave jail. Well,
no, I think he'd be happy to leave jail.
I suppose we'll get this all solved next session, won't we?
Yes.
As long as you're going to give us our address and stuff before we, so we know where we need to go.
I'll take you where you need to go, and then we'll get everything else sorted out next session.
Sure, whatever that means.
All right. Let me pass out some XP for to partay. So, lots and lots of spiders.
Ugh.
Delicious, delicious spider XP. And an even bigger spider XP. Everybody can take 1,400 XP. And that will be that for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for Conscripted, or as it's probably going to get renamed, I just killed the party. I just killed the party. I get to make more minis. I get
Tomorrow's
to make more
not Sunday.
minis.
That's relegated for the Sunday game. That's what they do.
No, I remember one of them has an amulet that when they die, they'll save the rest of the party. So it'll all work out okay.
We're just gonna beat the crap out of one of them. It's fine.
That's fine. They can be the Barks. The Barks don't care about that.
But yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.